rippling for like 40 seconds. And I was about to say, why is it taking so long? And I was like, boom, I'm live. Hello, you guys. Happy January 30th. January 30th. Holy crap. Okay, so I'm excited about this topic, you guys, because some of you are newer to having me as your coach. Others, you've been around for a long time, and you know that I've gone through my own transition beyond just having like my own nutrition degree, right? And I'm actually diving back into nutrition studies with precision nutrition, but with my own journey since it was like March 2020 is when I really started getting very into like, hold up, maybe what I've been doing isn't really what gets you the results, right? And so, what I want to tell you guys about that, because I really want you guys to know that for me, I was so focused on the scale moving because I thought that the scale moving is what was going to make the outside of my body look different, right? I wanted more muscle. I wanted to be more toned. At the time, I used to say I had a muffin top, right? Which don't ever talk to yourself like that, okay? But like there were certain parts of my body, which I don't think we should feel bad about, that I wanted to tone up, right? That I wanted to feel better in my clothes and not feel like it was drooping over. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting that, you guys. But I thought that losing weight is what was actually going to make those things like magically happen. When in reality, weight loss is just a small part of the formula. Okay, a very small part of it. And don't worry, I'm not going to go through all those 6 things and say those are the 6 things that you should focus on. This is different. It's part of it. But hey, Kathleen, this is beyond that. So before we dive into deciding whether it's weight loss or maintenance, you guys, I really want you guys to think about your journey over the last, I would say the last month as well as like the last year. Okay, because in order to really gauge where you're at and where your body's at and where your body's ready to go, it's not just like a 1 month thing. Okay, so overall, and hopefully from the Mind and Body Studio that we just did the last 8 weeks, you guys know my goal for you is to be kind to yourself, love your body, take care of yourself, but overall to just feel good and to feel healthy and to feel thriving, right? Where you have the energy, you're in a good mood, you're moving and grooving, right? Like you're living your life and you're not feeling kind of bogged down with like food rules of like what I can eat and I can't eat and all that stuff, okay? And even when you're in a weight loss season and things might look a little different than when you are in like a maintenance season, you still have freedom, okay? So I want you to think about the last month, the last year, and ask yourself, have I been so focused on weight loss, right? So like it's January 2023. So since January 2022, have you just been focused on weight loss? Okay, like have you been in a state of it's starvation for your body? Even if you're following portion fix or 2B mindset, you guys, if your goal is weight loss, it's a state of starvation. Now, I don't mean that in a way that's like, oh my God, I should never have these plans, okay? Because sometimes weight loss is the goal in a healthy way, right? But I want to open up your mind to the fact that if you are just staying in weight loss, so lower calories, you guys, and this means like, honestly, like 1600 calories or less. Okay, for most people, it's like 1700 or less is weight loss mode. Okay, you're probably thinking, oh, shoot, I've been in 1200 or 1400. Listen up, bud. I got you. Okay, so if that has been it, you guys, over the last year, I'm really going to encourage you, and we'll go over this in a week. Okay, I'm not going to try to dive into both topics today because it's going to be longer than 20 minutes, and I want to make sure that I keep this 20 minutes or less. I'll dive into maintenance next week. Okay, so if you're like, oh, shoot, that's me. I got you next week, okay? This week is for people who have the goal of weight loss, and maybe it's been your goal since 2022, but you haven't really been adherent to the plan, right? And what I mean by that is that you might 1 to 2 months, you're focused in, laser focused, but then you're like vacation, holidays, a little bit of a hiatus. That's okay, right? Like I'm good with that. But if that's you, then you're okay staying in weight loss, okay, for right now. All right. So if you're someone who has been really restricting calories for like the last year, pay attention to next week, still listen up to this week, okay? If you have been sort of in, sort of out, and your goal is weight loss, listen into this, okay? You're gonna pay attention to what I have to say today. Okay, so these tips, you guys, work best if you're following 2B Mindset or Portion Fix. Why? Because those are the programs that I support, that I follow. I actually mix the two together, okay? And that can be a whole nother topic if you guys wanna know how I do that. And just let me know and I'll talk about it in another time. But I fully stand behind those programs because they keep all macronutrients in them: carbs, protein, healthy fat. Okay. And one's a little more structured, Portion Fix, right? For busybodies. And honestly, you guys, like, some people are like, oh, no food freedom when you're doing Portion Fix. When you get really good at it, you can have more food freedom, right? And you don't have to be so strict depending on what season you're in. But also, like, for me, you guys, I am a chronic undereater. Okay. Like, left to my own demise, one, I'm not going to eat enough calories, not trying to. I just get so busy and wrapped up in doing something that I'm like, oh, shoot, I haven't ate in 6 hours, right? But also, I will not eat fruits and vegetables on my own. Yes, I'm a nutritionist. I actually like them. But like, if I go in the fridge, I'm not going to be like, I need some cherry tomatoes, right? Like, I'm like, give me carbs, okay? Like, I want carbs. And honestly, fruit, like, I have to force myself to eat fruit, okay? It's just not really my thing. So I love Portion Fix for that reason, because it makes sure that I'm getting in those things, okay? If you like more freedom, that, and have a little more emotional eating type stuff, focus on 2B Mindset. Now, both of these programs come with so much knowledge that I don't even have to go through them, okay? Like, 2 professionals created it. Go check out those videos, okay? But this is about helping you figure out what phase you're in, okay? So overall health, you guys, I want you guys to create consistent habits, right? We talk about it in those 6 things: in your positive self-talk, in your sleep, in your nutrition, in your hydration, in your stress control, in your exercise. I want overall health in those areas for all of you guys, not perfection. You will never be perfect, okay? Even being the coach that has a career in this, I'm not perfect, okay? And I don't strive for perfection, all right? But I want you overall health, like, to feel good in those areas, knowing that there's gonna be some wiggle rooms, right? Like, I think my kids woke me up 6 times the other night because we had stomach bug going on, right? Like, that night of sleep was crap, right? But I knew the next night it would probably be better, okay? So if you're wanting to lose weight, okay, I suggest staying in weight loss mode. So going to Portion Fix or going to 2B Mindset, figuring out where your bracket is, okay? A lot of you fall into bracket A, okay? If you're doing Portion Fix, that's like 1,200 to, what is it? 1,200 to 1,500 calories, okay? I don't want you in that bracket longer than 3 months, okay? Like, no longer than 3 months, because then we're going to move into kind of like a reverse diet where you're increasing your calories and not gaining weight, okay, but helping your metabolism. That's a whole nother topic. So if you fall into that category of bracket A, okay, no more than 3 months. So if you started in January and you've been pretty adherent to the plan, by the end of March, okay, gone, donezo, okay? You're going to be increasing after that. And you can still be focused on weight loss. That's the cool thing. Whole nother topic. Okay. So if that's your goal, no more than three months. Okay. Now, if you're in like bracket B or C or D, you can stay in that bracket for 4 months. Okay. So bracket A, only 3 months. Bracket B and higher for 4 months. Okay. Now, after 4 months, even if you still have weight that you want to lose, I suggest, from everything that I've done research-wise as well as my own journey, is that you bump up to that next bracket. Okay, so if you're doing 2B Mindset, you would just increase by a protein, a healthy fat, and a healthy carb. Okay, so you would increase by that in one of your meals. If you are doing Portion Fix, you literally just bump up to the next bracket. Okay, so if you were in A, you'll move to B. If you're in B, you move to C. If you're in C, you move to D. Got it? Okay, and you do that for 1 month. But you keep all the other healthy habits going, you guys. You're still focused on your sleep. You're still talking kindly to yourself. You're still moving your body, hydration, sticking to the nutrition, all of that stuff. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so what people find is actually when they bump up, they still lose weight. That was my story. I was bracket A girl all the time, never really seeing a ton of results. March 2020, I actually bumped up 2 brackets. Okay, because I was like, let's just see what happens, right? Like, I feel like I'm chronically under eating. And for like 2 to 3 weeks, yes, I felt puffy. I felt like, whoa, like this is weird. And then after that, my body started to lose the weight that I'd been holding on to for a very long time. And I lost 10 pounds. And I've been able to keep those pounds off other than over the holidays for the most part. Okay, so you guys, so no more than 3 to 4 months in weight loss. Okay, if you have 5 or less pounds to lose, you're chasing those last 5 pounds. Okay, anyone? Does anyone fall into that category? Anyone? Okay, are you chasing that number on the scale for a reason? Are you thinking that you're going to feel different when you weigh that number? Or are you looking for a difference on the outside of your body? Again, from my story, I was like, I don't even want to put numbers out there, but I was teetering on like 5 pounds that I wanted to lose. And I was so fixated on it, so fixated. I lost the 5 pounds and I was like, I don't look any different. Okay. And that's why in March in 2020, I was like, no, you're actually going to do this different. Right. And when I actually stayed the same weight, I lost the 10 pounds, right? But then I stayed that same weight, I started to see results. And it was 5 pounds heavier than what I thought I actually needed to lose. Okay, so I had 15 pounds I wanted to lose. I lost 10 of them. I was like 5 pounds heavier than my goal weight. And I looked better. Okay, so I want to remind you, if you have 5 pounds, to maybe bump into the maintenance area. Okay, and that's going to be scary. It's going to challenge your brain and a lot of your thoughts, and you can lean into me. And we'll talk about it next week, okay? Because that's a fun topic for me. But you will get better results physically, because when you're trying to change that outside appearance, not in a bad way, you guys, but like getting stronger, like more toned, lean muscle, okay? You have to make sure that you're fueling your body with enough calories. Even if you're lifting heavy enough, if you are starving your body is not going to grow that muscle. Okay, it's going to be like, screw you. I don't have enough in the tank to do that. Okay, and that's when like fatigue and burnout and all of that stuff happens. Okay, now say that you are wanting to maintain, but to continue to tone. Okay, again, think about next week when I talk about maintenance. Because if you're maintaining, but you want to tone up your muscles, we may have to shift into this last section, which is growing muscle and being okay with like the scale going up a few pounds. Okay. But again, we'll talk about that next week. All right. So I want you to ask yourself, have you been consistent? So it's January 30th. Okay. And if your goal is weight loss right now, this year, okay, and you have 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever pounds you want to lose, ask yourself, have I been consistent with my nutrition? And what I mean by consistent, you guys, is that following Portion Fix, following 2B Mindset, for the most part, like pretty to the T. Okay, so like my weight loss, I'm in weight loss season right now. Okay, and I can gauge from my results week to week if I've been consistent with my nutrition. Okay, so usually you'll lose between 0.5 pound to 2 pounds a week, you guys. We're not looking for 5, 10, 15 pounds a week, because that is not real. It's not sustainable. It means like something else is going on. Okay, so 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week, minus your period week, minus your ovulation week. It's great being a woman, isn't it? Like every other week, you might see your scale stay the same, okay, or even go up a couple pounds. That's me right now. I'm about to start my period, and I'm like, whew, I feel it. I feel it. You know, like the scale will be moved. Like it actually moved to 0.5 pound, so I'll take that. But I'm like, I bet it moved more. But like my body is holding on to water weight right now. Okay, and that's okay. Our bodies are working the way they're supposed to. Okay, so if you have been adherent to the nutrition plan, okay, and you're following it, at least I would say 5 days a week, okay, like tracking. You have that tracking tab on your app, you guys. Use it. You might at first be like, oh, I forget. If this is a priority to you, my goal is to help you get in and out of weight loss as quick as possible in a sustainable way, right? Like 3 or 4 pounds or less, or 3 or 4 months or less, and you're out. Okay. So if you are doing that, you have to be tracking. Okay. Because there's a lot of times we either underestimate or overestimate how much we're eating. Okay. And both can affect you in a very negative way towards this goal. Okay. So if you are not steadily losing a half a pound to 2 pounds a week, minus ovulation and period week, okay, if you're not, ask yourself these questions. Am I tracking what I'm eating? Okay, at least 5 days a week. Am I staying on track on the weekends? Okay, because if weight loss is your goal, you guys, you're not just going to throw it out the window on the weekends. Okay, am I getting enough sleep? You guys, this affects everything. At least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. It is crazy. I've paid attention where I've had days where I've like done to a T everything perfect, but if I sleep like crap, you better believe that scale is like nope. But if I get a good night's sleep, even if I'm not 100% perfect with like my nutrition and everything, I wake up and I weigh less. Okay, it's crazy. Sleep affects everything. And it really is like the center of weight loss. Am I controlling my stress? Again, you guys, when we are stressed out and we are not doing things to take care of it, like you can't control when your kid gets sick. I mean, both of my kids had the stomach bug, and so did I. It was great. So I can't control that stress, but I can control how I handle it by doing things to help me feel better, by meditating, by laughing, by listening to music that gets me happy, by watching a movie that makes me happy, by reading a book, by taking a bath. You have ways that you unstress, okay? Hopefully it's not dessert or alcohol, okay? But like things that are gonna help you work towards your goals still. Do those things. So are you doing it, or are you just a big ball of stress right now, right? Because when you're stressed out, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol affects your weight loss in a negative way. Okay. Are you hydrating properly? Okay. Are you nailing the half the body weight in ounces like nothing? Like you're like, I drink that by, noon, but then you don't drink anything the rest of the day. It's time to increase your water. Okay. Do you have your own back? Okay. Like, do you have your own back and like support yourself through this and know that this is a journey? Like you are learning, right? Like anytime your brain starts lying to you. So for me, and I know that you guys like me sharing this, so I will continue to share it. I've lost 6.5 pounds since coming back from our cruise. And 4 of those pounds, it was water weight. Okay, so technically I've lost about 2.5 pounds of like real like fat and probably a little bit of muscle, hopefully not, but fat and a mixture of fat and muscle and water because I'm in a weight loss season, right? Starvation. But and let me make sure you guys know I'm not starving myself. I'm in bracket B right now, okay? Towards the top of bracket B. Okay, so my brain likes to say, you've only lost 2.5 pounds in 3 weeks. Like, come on, Meg. Because I used to watch Biggest Loser and I used to watch all of those things and we expect so much more, right? But when you think about it logically, okay, 2.5 pounds in 3 weeks is very healthy, you guys. So check where you're at. Shoot, I'm running out of time. Okay, so the other thing, you guys, so I want you to know that it happens at different paces for all of us, different pace for every single one of us, okay? The last thing that I want you to check in on is your biofeedback. So are you sleeping well? Are you recovering? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling minimal cravings? Are you not starving during the day? Okay, out of those 6 things, or is that 5? 5 things. If you answer no to at least 2 of those, so like maybe you aren't sleeping well and you're waking up hungry, maybe you aren't recovering from your workouts, maybe you're having cravings, maybe you're starving throughout the day and you're like having that energy drop, there's a good chance that you need to increase your food, okay? Even if your goal is weight loss, you need to increase your food, okay? So if that's you, comment below this, okay? Or email me at meganlkozlowski@gmail.com. We will work through it together, okay? Because sometimes it's not even just bumping up to the next bracket. You might just need like an extra vegetable. You might need just an extra protein, okay? So reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys. But I really want you guys to pay attention to slow and steady wins the race, okay? And remind your brain that. Because if your goal is weight loss, I want you to lose it, but also do it in a way that feels good and that's sustainable. All right, guys, have a wonderful Monday. Let me know any questions you have. I'll see you later. Bye.